Carol, this is a really interesting one, isn't it? Because I feel like there is absolute fatigue when it comes to these Christmas party stories. We all know folk at number 10 Downing Street were making the rules and were breaking the rules. But do you feel like we've just moved on from this now? We know there's an investigation happening and that will report back.
I kind of do think that this is the most shocking yet, actually, because this is kind of willful and organised, and unlike some of the other ones which they said weren't.
When we were being told that we could only meet with one person
and
outside.
It is shocking and it is terrible. But what's going to happen? Nothing's going to happen. Nothing's going to happen to the people who were there. We know now that they broke the rules. We know that they can't preach to us about breaking the rules. That's a given. But, you know, I think this is getting such big licks now because there's not an awful lot happening at the moment, and this is just like another story to batter Boris and the government with. No, they shouldn't have done it. Absolutely not, when we were all being told we should. But, you know, we're moving on now. We've just been talking about how Omicron is, you know, the last blast of COVID and how it's nearly over. So it just feels like, you know...
I mean, this aide, Boris's principal private secretary, Martin Reynolds, he'll probably have to take the hit on this, Benjamin Butterworth. I find it hard to believe that he will survive this.
Yeah, and of course that would just be the latest example of someone else bearing the brunt of Boris Johnson and his incompetence.
So you'd say Boris should resign over this?
Well, I mean, chance would be a fine thing. You know, the truth is, I actually felt quite sorry for Allegra Stratton when she got caught up in that video before Christmas, because she hadn't been to that party. You know, she hadn't been responsible for the government's messaging. That was Boris Johnson, and she took the hit. And I dare say this guy will take the hit because, as far as we know, Boris Johnson was at the party. He's one of his chief aides. He would have known what was going on.
Esther Krakue, all this makes me feel is utter fury that I ever followed any of the rules. And by the way, I'm not saying I was perfect, right? But I tried, and they didn't even try.
They didn't even bother. I mean, but it's like saying, you know, politicians are shameless. This is life, right?
We knew that.
This is the thing. I think the reason why I've grown bored of this is because there's a self-righteousness that comes with it. Like, Labour politicians would have never done this. Are you joking?
Yeah.
Labour politicians that are coming tens of thousands.
Benjamin's angry.
Labour politicians.
Benjamin, come on. Come on.
No, hang
this
on.
is not a Tory thing.
No, hang on. It's not necessarily a Tory thing. I don't accept that any old politicians would have done this. It is Boris Johnson and the type of people that he's choosing to surround himself that don't have a basic respect for the office they hold.
And there's also an arrogance. There's an arrogance where they believe the rules don't apply to them. But
every politician.
No, it's not.
No, I'm sorry. I think the 2009-2010 expenses.
I'm sorry, Benjamin. There was an SNP politician who's going to end up in court because she had coronavirus and she got on a train and she travelled from Westminster to Scotland. So to say that this is a Tory problem is nonsense.